Hmm. Hey, hey, finally. Okay. Well,
Are we doing it?
holy shit. I think Henry's here. Finally.
Who
Oh
is?
boy.
Your STP's crooked.
Yeah, guess why?
What?
I was gonna surprise you. Well,
Oh, are we doing it?
holy shit. I think Henry's here. Finally.
Who is? I hear
Yeah, guess why?
in my ear.
Surprise you. That's because I got my volume on my phone.
Oh,
We are such professionals, let me tell you.
Oh no, not even close.
Here, I'll hang them here. How's that? How's that?
Yeah, that's in your face.
Can you
There
see
you
that
go.
okay?
Oh, we can
Keep on squatching.
keep on squatching.
Holy crap. Got it.
Are we on?
We're on. We're on. Yeah, man. We've been on for like hello, everybody. What do you think?
It's Squatch Talks podcast
Welcome.
live.
Woo.
Oh,
Oh, just lost somebody. All right, that was me. Never mind. I got my live chat back on. Okay, cool.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Anyway, we finally figured it out, I think. I don't know. I'm like really brain dead anymore. Patty's here. Hey, Patty.
Patty. We never have to worry. Patty's always in the house.
Anyhow, I went to New Hope today with Heather and Tristan, and Terry's had a couple of Bigfoot items.
Yeah.
So I picked one up. Keep on squatching. It's a
wind chime.
Wind chime.
With a foot. Wind chime with a foot.
Pretty nice, huh?
It is. I like it.
I'm gonna have this one hanging somewhere.
Somewhere in the wind.
In the wind. But yeah, that's my exciting thing to share with you right now, anyhow.
You have more exciting stuff than that. That's just, I mean, that's cool, but you have more exciting stuff than that.
Terry's great. She's got like this memorabilia kind of place on Main Street, and all kinds of different rock memorabilia and all kinds of different stuff. And so every time we go to New Hope, of course, we have to pay her a visit. And I said, "What? Did you know I was coming?" Because as I walked in, Heather and Tristan were there holding this wind chime, and I was like, and then they had a squatch. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, here, put this on the counter. And then she had a Squatch statue in the case, which I also liked very much. It was about 7 or 8 inches, tall, very lifelike looking. I passed on that for today. It gives me a reason to go back, but she says next time I'll be even more stuff. So it was fun.
Hey, Yeti Bars commented.
Nice. Well, I just finally got a response, and
Bar will be ready in 2.5, 3 weeks.
Woo! Well, and that's what the next surprise. I had sent them a message, remember, last time we spoke? Yeah. And Tyrel did get back to me, although it was on their live website chat. I guess it's like a chat bot kind of thing, but And the response was from Tyrel, and I didn't see it until right before we went on, saying that they've had some difficulty in getting the bourbon part of that scent.
We need the bourbon.
Well, I made an executive decision, and they're going to change it to caramel and tobacco.
Caramel and tobacco.
Yeah.
Instead of coffee and bourbon.
No, caramel and coffee.
Caramel and coffee.
I'm such a dummy.
Well,
thank you, Tyrel. Hey, I'm happy to get a bar. Okay. And this was a reserved scent they used a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So
that's okay.
I felt rather than continue to put off and make them go crazy looking for this. I mean, obviously the bourbon and coffee would have been nice because it's kind of a copycat thing to some of the more exclusive and popular scents coming out about now.
Well, that
I
you
love
drink,
caramel.
but
You
you
love
drink.
bourbon.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. You drink coffee, I drink bourbon,
I mean,
so it worked pretty good that way.
it worked out perfect. Huh? What do you think of that?
There you go.
He says, "What's up?" That's Greg. Hey, Greg, I got a sticker. I put a sticker on my Yeti mug. Believe.
Believe.
And then on this side, we got that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Very good. Very good.
I'm drinking Black Rifle coffee, and I got a Black Rifle espresso.
See,
so I am ready to live stream, babies.
Yeah, you're probably vibrating right out of the chair.
Well, it took me a little while to get this all set up.
Yeah.
Welcome to everybody. We're here Saturday Night Live because Wednesday didn't go well. We had some things come up. Turns out it was perfect, actually, right? Nathan, you had some little after effects of your physical
therapy, yeah.
Right? So you weren't quite in the right frame of mind or feeling up to doing this, which I respect.
Yeah.
And I had actually gotten a message from Jacob, from Jacob's Creature episode and from our Pine Barrens expedition.
Good
Jacob,
guy.
And we've been going out to the area where we've been, where Andy had his samurai chatter. Okay. So we've been going out pretty consistently researching and scouting that area. So he had gone out Wednesday morning before daylight on a little solo hike. And he started at the 1-lane bridge and walked up the trail towards the spot where Andy had his samurai chatter. Okay. And he did before he walked up the trail, he did a little gentle whoop, just to let, I guess, the locals know he was there. He hiked up the trail, got to that spot, and then he did a little samurai chatter. Nothing, no response. Took about 10, 15 steps maybe, did another one, and that's when he heard something coming out of the cedar swamp bipedally in his direction.
Nice.
And it didn't sound like a deer, and it didn't sound like a bunny rabbit. It was loud, okay? And it's dark out, and he had no headlamp on, nothing. That's when he starts fumbling for his phone. He puts his phone light on, and he gets out his flashlight, and he's like, "Hello?" And the cool thing was he had his phone on record, so he actually recorded this.
Oh, nice.
Okay. And so when I got his message, I was like, "Oh, damn," because Heather and I had gone out that afternoon on our own little hiking excursion. And by the time I had seen the message, it was already after the fact, and we missed him. He had stopped by here to let me know about it. So I reached out to him, and he was willing to meet me back out there. He actually went back a second time during the day to look for tracks because he knew approximately where this thing came out of the cedar forest, through the water, mind you.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know how Andy described hearing it at that one spot prior to the samurai chatter, right? Where he said he came off the island, walked through the water to the cedar area. And you could tell like a foot was getting taken out of the water as opposed to sloshing through the water. Okay. These are things you have to be in tune with, when we're out doing research. These are things we try to keep track of and get attuned to. Okay.
Yeah.
So Jacob heard this same type of sound with the foot coming out of the water bipedally. Okay. And it freaked him out. So he decided not to head back down that trail. Instead, I'm like, "What are you, nuts?" Instead, he goes down this like fire cut, or it's like a off-road trail for motocross, right? Like a motorcycle trail. Instead of like the road was right there, maybe 20 yards up, the perfectly wide dirt road. Instead, he goes through the forest. I'm like, "What are you, nuts?"
Right.
So the funny thing is, though, I went back out. We met up at the 1-lane bridge, and the two of us went back in, and we hung out. We hiked up the trail, and we hung out for a few hours trying to see if we could recreate it. Unbelievable, man. It was so cool to be out there. And again, February, and it's like 46, 50 degrees. You know what I mean? It was like unbelievable weather. We had nothing as far as responses. And again, we weren't going nuts, but did a couple of little samurai back and forth things together. I found a great knocking tree right there at the location, which the sound was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But again, it didn't go crazy doing provocations. But at one point, I did a call, and we did get what sounded like a lone or maybe one or two coyotes. Okay. But odd, I have to say, real strange sounding coyotes, and maybe one owl response far off too.
Lone coyotes are odd. Anyway.
They are, yeah. But the way we were sitting, right? Because we just kind of sat down on the ground, and I was sitting on that route where Andy was sitting with Willow when he had that experience. Okay. Looking up the little hill that takes you back to where I would normally park my truck when I'm flying the drone, you could see that clearing in the trees where it was a little bit lighter, like you guys had in Pennsylvania that time when you saw it up on the hill, right?
Yeah.
And it was swaying back and forth. So I mentioned it to Jacob. I'm like, oh, this is like the ideal spot. Art and I have looked for places like that in the past where it reminds me of this poster, right? I love how that silhouette is in between the tall trees, right? So the crazy thing is, like, I'm looking up this hill, and that's what I'm hoping to see. So I continuously, gazing up in that direction, I saw a white flash.
Yeah.
Similar to what I saw in Pennsylvania, but it was very quick.
Okay.
But again, you have to go like this and see if it's a plane or if it's a star or whatever, you know what I mean? And I didn't see anything after that. So again, white flash, he's seen red lights out there. But again, getting back to his encounter, after this happened, he was like, hey, I'm leaving. He actually spoke to it. He's like, it's okay, I'm leaving. Because it freaked him out so bad,
Yeah.
But I wanted to get him back out, back in the saddle real quick. That's why I said, hey, let's meet back out there. So we did. And I handed him the therm so he'd have like a security blanket,
Right.
And that was perfect. He was like this the whole night. But he did give me permission to talk about this.
Good.
I had invited him to come on with us. He's with a group of friends watching some Sasquatch documentary. So he said, go ahead, talk about it. And,
he's supposed to be watching this.
Well, true. He might be. I haven't even checked. Hello. Hey, we got a few people watching. Call Stan Gordon on that white thing. Yeah, we definitely need to contact Stan. I mean, there's a lot of people we have in mind,
Yeah. I want to get Ian on here, the guy that was with me that night when we saw the thing swaying between the trees.
Yeah, that would be cool.
He's out in Colorado now. Lives out there. He's doing some squatching out there too. So,
oh man, I just looked at the comments. Tyrel mentioned he's going back out to where that children's graveyard is.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, in March. Yeah, definitely. We'd appreciate that, Tyrel. Of the train tunnel, photos of the graveyard. Nice. And that reminds me, I have to contact our friend Mike O'Connell from Michael's Plot. They're doing this thing June 3rd up in northern Jersey at the Kearney Cottage again. And they have the whole rec room reserved and everything. And we're not going to be able to attend.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I can't go either. I'm working that day. Yeah, well, I could have. I mean, if you were able to go, I would have brought Tracy in to work for me that day, but it's my day to work. And we're doing the expedition the following weekend. So it's kind of tough for me to commit to an all-day event like that.
Yeah, I wanted to go, but I texted the guy at the lodge, and I already committed to every cooking dinner for every meeting. and that's meeting night, so I really can't go.
But you're okay the next weekend?
I am okay the next weekend. Yeah.
The funny thing is, we were going to be like headliners.
I know.
And he got Ken Gerhard. So I was like, oh, well, you found your headliner.
Yeah.
So we were going to actually go on before Ken, and which would have been cool because we could have introduced Ken. But hey, you know what? We'll have to work things out with him and do it another time, but I have to let him know that we're not going to make it before he makes up any posters, you know?
Yeah.
I feel bad. But
I do too. I wanted to go, but I can't back out on that.
hey man, you gotta have your priorities. And
Well, I like to keep my word.
absolutely. So I thought that was really interesting to share with the viewers that
Yeah.
Jacob had another experience out there. And we are actually going to head back out tomorrow night.
Nice.
So we will keep you up to date if anything new occurs. But we're gonna keep, you've been there. That's where you and Heather and Terry saw the UFO while we were on the
Oh,
cryptid
okay.
hike.
Right.
Okay. So you guys
Right.
are back at base camp having
Right.
a UFO experience,
Yeah. Yeah.
which we still haven't really had the girls talk about.
No, that was pretty neat though.
Which you saw also the Tic Tac on your night vision, right?
Night vision. Yeah. I actually, when I was looking at it and I kept asking them, I said, can you still see it? And they said, no. And I said, well, I can on night vision. I can still see it. And then all of a sudden it made this zoop. I could see the light, like the energy trail go.
Wow.
And it disappeared. And I mean, it was that fast too. Like,
sure.
Gone.
Oh, that's how mine were when I saw them come over my house the second time. Just
yeah,
up and to the left, gone.
Yeah.
And not even noise. It was just like a whoosh, that whooshing sound, but nothing engine related.
Yeah,
so yeah, I can appreciate what you heard. And
it was neat though of course I don't use my night vision enough because of the infrared. So I forgot where the record button was.
Of course.
So that didn't get recorded.
Well, and I made sure that I showed Jacob where the record button was.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, normally when I use that stuff, you look at it, you're like, all right, there's record. Keep your finger on that.
Yeah. Well,
but I didn't.
The funny thing was at first, should I say it? First thing when I first gave it to him, of course, and turned it on, he's looking through it. He's going, man, I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything. I said, oh, hold on.
Actually, you got the Brian spinner on that one.
He realized he pulled a Brian. I said, don't worry, we've all done it. Yeah. Lens cap was on, of course. Yeah. Damn thing doesn't work through glass or through the lens cap.
Yep. Rubber and glass don't work.
Impedes your ability. So anyway, I saw something else I thought we could talk about. So we're not boring the viewers with just our latest garbage. Where did it go? Oh, you remember we spoke with the guys from Sasquatch University last week?
I like them guys.
Good bunch of guys. Well, guess what? Yeah. They actually were included in this article on Global News online.
Nice.
Okay. And it talks about this scientist says most Bigfoot sightings boil down to this simple explanation. And this is from January 31st of this year. So it's very recent. Okay. Only a couple of weeks old. And it talks about how the mystery surrounding Bigfoot can be simply explained by actually being black bears walking on their hind legs.
F you.
Yeah, I know. I think Matt made a mention of this, as a matter of fact, Moneymaker. And it says, if it's there, could it be a bear? Right. And that supposed Bigfoot sightings in Canada and the US tend to increase when there's a high population of black bears. Well, wouldn't that make sense that there be also a population of Sasquatch in an area where it can support a predator like a bear?
Right.
Right.
Well, I always bring this back to Pedals. Remember Pedals from New Jersey?
Yeah.
Had a broken front leg or whatever happened, walking around on his back legs. That bear was so dopic and so uncoordinated on its back legs, even though it could do it for a long time, couldn't run, and most importantly, couldn't jump over a 4-foot fence or step over a 4-foot fence. You know, they look like a guy, they look like an old Dutchman with his pants hanging down around his butt. Ain't no black bear walking around looking like a Bigfoot, that's for sure.
No, I don't think so either. They created a map, though, right? A map created to back his findings shows Bigfoot sightings overlapping with black bear populations, particularly on the West Coast. Okay. And And then it says, however, Florida and Texas seem to report a lot of Sasquatch sightings, despite low black bear populations.
Well, there you go.
So the guy's name is Floxon, Floxon, Floxon. Okay.
Okay.
What are you gonna say?
I'm just reading comments here on Patty's going to Tennessee. Hang out with Tony.
Awesome. Give him our regards. Can't wait to see you guys.
Can I come along? I want to go.
He saw something black, huh? Wow. Nice. That was just Travis.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I think that's, that's kind of interesting that this guy believes that it's a black explainable. I mean,
yeah, sure.
Thinks it's a reasonable explanation for Bigfoot sightings. Then he talks about another mystical monster, the Loch Ness monster, and how people see an eel and mistake that for for Nessie.
Well, there's a good explanation for the stars too, and somebody put holes in the blanket that's over the earth. That's why we see stars. Jackwagon,
right? But then it goes on to talk about some Native American culture, right? The Salis, I can never say this tribe's name. This Staalis Nation, right? That's where I think the name Sasquatch originated. I think it's up in British Columbia. All right.
Okay.
The Sasquatch is a protector of their land and an entity not to be meddled with, while the Haida people view it as a supernatural being to be respected. So, to date, wildlife government agencies in Canada have not acknowledged the existence of Sasquatch, and the mythical creature remains the stuff of campfire stories and conspiracy theorists. That's how the article ends. But the reason I'm bringing this up in addition to that is they had a video attached, and it was Ryan Willis and Joel Porter with another woman, another member of the Sasquatch Society, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Going out looking for Bigfoot. And it must have been from a couple of years ago, because they looked even younger than they did last week.
Old footage.
Yeah, right.
Okay, we're down to 5. People are turning.
They're dropping like flies. Well, hey,
yeah,
that was a boring story. I'm sorry. You got anything better to share?
Not really.
Not really. But
no. Yeah, I'm upset. And I know we don't talk about politics and shit on here.
Right.
And I don't really want to.
Okay.
But the only thing I want to say is, why is it more important to tear each person down than it is to tell me what you're going to do for me? I don't care how much you hate the other people. It's just driving me crazy. I had to say something. I'm sorry. I'll stop now.
That's cool.
That's enough with politics.
I know. I don't want to get started on it. I'll tell you, it's very, very disheartening.
It is. It is.
It totally is. But again, in a non-political sense, how about those balloons, huh?
Yeah.
What do? We fired 2 Stinger missiles at a $12 hobby balloon. There's our tax dollars at work, let me tell you.
Yeah. Who knows? Right? I don't even believe them anymore.
Oh, that's the other thing. And then Ohio, with what's going on with that train derailment, that is just horrible,
Yeah, that's bad shit.
Hey, I had a conversation with a customer yesterday, which is, again, I try not to be political, and I feel bad because, her husband recently passed, so I try to be respectful. And I know he was a good guy. May he rest in peace. But, she mentioned about getting an electric stove. She wants to get an electric stove.
Yeah.
And I said, why? Is gas so bad? She said, it's poisonous. It causes global warming. And I said, but it's only on. I mean, when it's cooking, it's not warming anything. She says, but the gas escaping when you turn it on is not good. I said, what, for a second or two before it ignites?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we got into this discussion, and
global warming, that's tough, man.
Hey, I believe in doing what we can to minimize, right?
Sure.
Our carbon footprint. But it's like I told her, I said, I don't like anybody telling me what I have to do, though. I don't want them to force me to use an electric oven, or you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
that's the type of thing I talk about, right?
Right.
And so
But then again, 68 degrees in the middle of February, that's completely normal too.
well, I was enjoying it though the other day, I'll tell you.
I can't say I'm not enjoying it.
I'm
not
not
thinking
missing
it's
the
normal.
shoveling. I got a big driveway.
Yeah,
But no,
I agree.
it was a very nice conversation. She didn't yell at me, didn't storm out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She brought up the windmill farms. And I said, you do know they use oil to lubricate those blades, right? Sometimes they catch on fire.
Yeah.
And what about the whales? I mean, if we really care about the
What
environment,
about the whales?
well, they're talking about putting wind farms out in the on the eastern seaboard,
Yeah.
and it's making whales wash up on the shore because they
How's
get the
that making?
the boom 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 from the blades.
They're full of shit.
Well, it's got to be something causing these whales to wash up, right?
It's probably all the plastic in the ocean.
I forgot who I was talking to, folks. Sorry. But anyway, we'll leave that out. I'll edit this out. Oh, wait, we're live.
No. Oh, yeah.
We're live.
You can't edit
I
live.
can't edit it.
Wait a minute. There's people talking. What did they say?
They're telling us to get back to the topic of Bigfoot and shut
That's
the fuck
right.
up.
That's right. Probably. Probably.
Yeah. Well, no, Greg was telling he saw the article I was referring to, and that he was going to tell them to go where the sun don't shine.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
scientists are good for that, being stupid.
Yeah, and when we're live, we don't show up on the screen the same way. We get reversed. So if and Greg's getting a little disrupted here, so let me do this.
He doesn't let. Is that better?
Is that better, Greg?
we hate to upset people.
Let's see if that works. Watch. I'm gonna watch a change on my phone. Oh shit.
That sucks.
Must be my internet. All right. Well, it says it's now streaming.
Oh, we're back.
It's now streaming. Woo!
I don't know what seconds we're at, but we're back.
Yeah, I don't know where we left off either.
We left off at the last time we were talking.
But we're
For
still
sure.
not showing up right on the live stream. So
Sure we are.
well, no, we're still the same way. It does I switched us and it's still not.
Wait,
correct.
don't try that again.
Hey kids, don't try this at home.
No. we tried to make Greg happy by switching us back, and it screwed everything up.
I have no idea what I did. But anyway.
Apparently nothing.
Apparently it's still the same. So what the hell? I don't know. But it works when I don't know, when I put it out on YouTube as a saved video, it works. So we'll move you back over, see what happens.
So anyway, habituation in Pennsylvania. The neighbors clear cut their yard. They're building new houses like 2 doors up from my habituation area, and they haven't had any activity for the past 3 months or so. It's kind of upsetting, but I kind of knew it was going to happen. I knew all along that this lady had this what she was considering a habituation going through. It was more or less her yard was the last spot where they went through to get into the cover again. And
that sucks.
After the neighbors up the street a couple doors clear cut, they're not going to come down to her house anymore. They're going to turn up sooner.
No doubt. Yeah, that's going to mess things up.
Yeah, it's over.
Although, if you recall,
I mean, I know where they're going to be, but
right. But I'm saying, if you recall, there's another block before that ravine. What's to stop them from coming up that hillside and just coming in through the back door?
Well, yeah, but that's going to be further up where this lady, where I have permission to be, isn't going to be. So we got to work on something different there.
Okay.
But at least, I mean, I have an idea, the thoroughfare, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah,
and we saw that other location right around the corner, which it looked like posted. Well, yeah, it was obviously posted. It didn't have that sign that said wasn't very kind. Stay out. But we could definitely get near there.
Yeah. One thing, the last thing we were talking about with her was it was springtime, early summer. They had all the windows open in their house, and they were watching a documentary about the Sierra Sounds.
Okay.
I don't remember which one she said it was, but they just kept playing the Sierra Sounds. You know, they were talking about the different sounds or whatever. So they had their TV turned up. They had all the windows open, and they were playing. They unknowingly called all these Bigfoot in with the Sierra Sounds, and they all came down and they were screaming all around the house and doing weird shit. It freaked her out pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you call blast Sierra Sounds, apparently that works pretty well.
Nice. Well, I've tried it actually.
Yeah.
I have done call blasting with Ron Moorhead's Sierra Sounds. And at this point, I haven't been very successful, at least not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
But that was Jersey Squatches versus the Pensy ones, you know.
Right.
The Jersey ones are a little bit more of an attitude. So maybe they came in and checked us out and went, oh, yeah.
Screw you.
Yeah. But obviously, Jacob must have done some samurai chatter yesterday or Wednesday that fooled him, because it came like walking straight for him. Yeah. I felt bad for him that he said, I won't go out there again by myself.
I love when people get scared in the dark.
I don't blame you, man. I don't go out by myself at night. I need somebody to, security blanket,
Right.
In fact, I was waiting for him in the dark for like 10 minutes before he even showed up to meet me that night. And I was just kind of hanging out, listening. Pine Barrens are unnerving.
Yeah. They're creepy during the day, for God's sakes.
Right. So
you get so lost out there. It's unbelievable.
But we'll be out tomorrow night, giving it our all. And probably just be the two of us, because I know Heather didn't go out with us the last time. And his fiance probably won't come out either. She'll probably have to work the next day. And so, hey, we'll see what happens. But we're kind of focusing on this area. And we're going to go a little further down towards Maple Island this time.
Okay.
Which is where that guy recently was found, the remains of him, So who knows? Maybe we'll have something to report when we come back together next week.
Damn, we're down to 3 people.
I know I screwed us all up. I did something. I don't know. But hey, you know what? Speaking of 3 people, I was on a live stream last night with what's the paranormal, the one that Lon does. Oh shoot, I can't look because I'm on my phone. Lon Richter. That Dan watches the Dogman show. Lon Strickland.
That's it. Strickland. Yep.
I forget his channel's name now, but Eric Mintel posted something that he was going to be a guest on Lon's program last night. So I jumped on to listen. I was in the chat room with the rest of the people, as Squatch Talks podcast.
Very good.
Right. Well, I figured, he's got 10,000.
Might as well.
He's got 10,000 subs,
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with networking. So, of course, few people said hello. And I asked a question. I said, hey, Eric, show us your shirt. He was wearing a cool shirt with like a UFO and a Squatchin or something, an alien or whatever. And so Lon says, couldn't even say it. It's like, Sasquatch. He couldn't read them like that. It's Squatch Talks. Has a question. And then Eric was kind enough to give us a plug. So that was cool. Oh, those guys are great, he said. So that was cool.
I'd like to get him back on. Didn't we have him? He was on once, right?
Eric Mintel, yeah.
We had him on pretty far at the beginning.
We on the Paranormal Parallels, right?
Yeah. Right.
But I actually chatted with him yesterday, and we were supposed to talk again. Didn't get back to me, but chatted briefly via text about talking about our idea. So that's cool. We'll hopefully set that up soon, with the weather permitting.
He likes that.
I haven't thrown it out at him yet. I told you.
Oh, that's right.
What's not to like?
Well, I like it.
I mean, what's not to like?
Right.
It's a freaking great idea, you know? And with his connections and our connections, it can work. Just got to be able to.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, you just got to be able to, get together with us,
Yeah.
That's
I'd like to go out with him again. Well, I'd like to go out with him once to begin with.
He's coming up your area. He's coming up in your area very soon to do another investigation at New Spirit Old Soul.
Oh, yeah?
So you should reach out. Maybe you can get on board.
I'll have to text him tonight.
We'll buy lunch or dinner. We're going out at night. I've already eaten by that time, Greg, but thank you. Let me know.
It's never bad to take pizza along out.
Well, I don't know. Have we tried pizza? No. I
like pizza.
My routine. I usually bring a sandwich or something with me. We get set up at base camp, set things up, and I eat for that first half hour or so while we get attuned to the noises around us, So that's not a bad thing to do. But because we're meeting so late, I will have eaten by that time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure I got that loose board again. Anyway, I thought it'd be fun to talk about that. And as I started to say, I've got some cast gluing. Hopefully we'll heal them. It's not easy, I'll tell you that.
No.
But the one's pretty good. On the one from Jeff that I got autographed, I have most of it together. I just have these like 3 small pieces on the side that I have to glue next. And you know how when you don't glue everything all at once, sometimes things don't fit so right. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to try to hammer it in. Well, I just figured it made sense to glue the main pieces together, right? And get the majority of it together, then add the small pieces that were remaining. And when it came time to put them in, they just didn't quite go in as easily. But I guess that means it'll be a nice tight fit, right?
There you go.
And then I realized there's a couple of chips that are going to be missing still. I have modeling clay.
There you go.
I'll fill in the gaps with modeling clay. Right? It'll look all right.
Whatever it takes.
It's going to look good. And then I got to make recasts. I just ordered another quantity of the dental casting stone. So that should be here soon. I'll make recasts, and then we can attempt to make the new molds using silicone this time, because Patrick got the material.
The correct material.
The correct material.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Then maybe we'll make a recast of this one.
Yeah. Well, that's the key. That is definitely the key.
I would like to make some recasts on my barefoot too.
Oh,
that black bear footprint.
That we can do though, even on expedition. Just bring some play sand with us,
I don't even know where the hell it is right now.
Speaking of expedition, I just interviewed another couple of people yesterday.
Yeah.
For Pennsylvania. One guy is coming down from Ontario.
Oh, very good.
Very interesting gentleman, I might add.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting. Sent me an article he wrote to a organization about almost a decade ago, about all his accomplishments, because he actually had a childhood injury, that left him in not so good shape, let's say.
Okay.
And he's gone on to do just about everything you could think of, including, parasailing, skydiving, been in every ballpark in America, Wall of China, the pyramids. I mean, this guy's done it all. And in this article, he was like, all these numbers he had given as far as numbers, right? As far as statistics and things,
right?
With all the surgeries and things that he had as a result. Okay. And at the end, it said something about, what's left to do or what's next, right? So as I'm talking about, like, well, I guess have a Bigfoot expedition.
There you go.
You know, and
Let's see if we can find a Bigfoot.
so yeah, he seems like he's pretty eager to join us. And it just so happens that out of all the ones that are listed, the Pennsylvania dates that we're doing is the best for him, you know.
Sweet.
Yeah. I'm from Toronto. It's another one. I have another woman coming down from Toronto for the Pine Barrens expedition.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. So, and then there's the other guy that I interviewed, also very, very interesting person. So it's going to be a great group, you know, but slots are filling up fast. So, hey, make sure you go to bfro.net and click on one of those links. I know that they added a Northwestern Pennsylvania expedition recently with Paul, the two Pauls, which was my first area that I researched in with Todd. But
yeah, I got to get up there and go out with Paul Bogdan. I need to get out with him. He calls me now every now and again. We talk about going out.
Yeah, man, that'll be cool. I'd love to get back up there again, no doubt.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful area. If nothing else, just for the atmosphere, you know.
Right.
But where we're going to be is beautiful as well. Once we decide where it's going to be.
Pennsylvania is beautiful, especially in the middle there, where it's, you know, Pennsylvania, right in the middle there. Yeah,
it is. But that gets me thinking about the West Virginia one, which we had talked about maybe going on, but obviously that's not happening this year. I'd love to get out there and do some squatching.
Yeah.
So does anybody have anything they'd like us to talk about? I know we got a few people watching. Any ideas for some upcoming shows that you'd like us to do? Or
and yes, Greg, Bigfoot does like pizza.
And loves the ladies, by the way. So,
not pepperoni, veggie pizza.
Ha! I don't know about that. I like bacon pizza. That's my thing. You know,
bacon and mushroom.
Every time we get together, right? Bacon pizza.
No, not bacon and mushroom, bacon and black olives.
Black olives. Nice. Wow, I had a great pizza last night.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Personal pizza, thick crust. It had chicken, bacon, broccoli, cheddar cheese, and ranch dressing.
Ugh. Lost me there.
No, it was their rustic special, the rustic grill special. It was great.
Ranch. Ugh.
Ugh. That was good.
Not on a pizza.
It was good. So, remember Squatch Talks podcast at gmail.com. If you want to send us any questions, or if you'd like to come on, that's the email to use for future reference. I've been in touch with the other young man whose father had the dog man encounter, so that's still coming. Stay tuned. It's just been a matter of timing, just like everything. We've got Eric Mintel coming on board, hopefully, to work with us again, and that'll be fun. And what else? Gonna hopefully get out together soon. The weather's going to be getting better, right? Real soon.
Yep. Back's getting better.
Yeah.
Physical therapy. They're twisting me around, and
the other Jacob will help us out with filming, right?
Yep. And go to what? Nasbro.net. Easy for me to say, right? Nasbro.net.
Which I definitely have to get that updated too. I gotta get, and Patty had mentioned that Eric might be able to help me out with that. So that's so much stuff, you know what I mean? And I gotta do our Teespring account. I got a lot of stuff that needs to be done. So this will be the year we get all that stuff done. We need to make some more merch. I got some special orders that we need to fill, and I need to get busy making some casts up. So all coming together, just a little slower than I'd like it to.
The world spins at the speed it spins.
That's it. So, Nathan, any exciting news on your end?
No. Unfortunately, I have nothing exciting other than my back's getting better.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Other than that, I got not a whole lot going on. My uncle died, but you know.
May he rest.
Yes.
In paradise.
I'm just glad he's not in pain anymore. He was in some serious pain on Friday. So
yeah.
Well,
hey, that's always tough, but
yeah.
I always like to think when it's my time, I'll go peacefully as well, and
pray it's quick.
Exactly, getting torn apart by a Bigfoot.
Yeah. Last thing I remember was my arms being torn off.
What was the last thing that went through my mind?
My shoulder.
Bigfoot's hand. On that note. So, hey, guys, remember, if you don't mind, give us a share and a like and subscribe.
That's right.
And hopefully we'll figure out some things to talk about, maybe get a guest on next week. We haven't done a live thing in a while directly on YouTube. Thought it'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And because of scheduling, it didn't quite work out to record something this week. So this is what you're left with.
Yeah. You have to put up with this crap.
I think I got out, though, everything that I had thought about talking about. So
I hope so.
I think so.
Okay.
And hopefully people got something out of it. Like I said, it was fun talking with Ryan and Joel. And
oh, yeah. Good guys. Can't wait to go to Ontario.
What was the other guy's name? Colt? No.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Good guy. He was their technical person. He helped out with the filming and stuff, audio, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, good guys, and hopefully they'll keep us in mind when they hit it big.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I looked at drones too. Matt had posted something on the big BFRO's page about the drone project that he wants to do.
Yeah.
They weren't available actually through DJI. But it's like $6,000 for one of these thermal Mavic.
We'll take two.
Yeah. So I had it in my cart, but it was out of stock. Sorry, Matt.
Sure.
I don't think Heather would approve that purchase.
No, probably not. I would have
one day. Hey, we are looking at maybe setting up a members only portion so we can possibly raise donations and things that we could fund something like that in the future.
Right.
And hey, I don't know. I mean, that's something that we have some people coming on board that are scientific backgrounds, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And who knows? I mean, I didn't cover everything. I apologize. One other thing. I had gotten the electron microscope from Art.
Oh,
because he and I and Heather and Regina and Ken got together last week to watch that movie.
Right.
And Art brought me some stuff, and one of them was an electron microscope. So I finally got to look at the hair sample that Jacob and Cassandra had given to me from North New Jersey. I see a medulla.
Okay.
So, yeah, it looks like black bear hair to me, which makes sense because tons of black bear up there.
Oh, yeah.
But there was a track impression they had found near where the hair was located, so they were not sure. But I'm still not done analyzing it.
Well, black bear prints are tough too. They can
Double
definitely
step.
look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's why I cast that one.
That just reminded me. The other individual I mentioned that I interviewed for the expedition was Ben's witness.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I didn't realize that at first.
Mm-hmm.
But then when he started talking, I put two and two together. So he actually sent me exact locations and stuff and some more details. Because originally when Ben posted that picture on the investigators page, right, I had commented on it saying, oh, it looks good because it's in a track line, in line.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The gate looks proper. The size, of course, looked like a juvie, 11 and a half, 12 inches, right? He says his boots like I think a 13 or 14. So yeah, I mean, of course it had deteriorated. So nothing, can't see toe impressions or anything, but he had the forethought to go down the block because the road had been plowed. Okay. So the tracks ended, obviously.
Right.
he couldn't find where they picked back up, but he had the forethought to go down the block and look for people with the Ring doorbell.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So he actually knocked on a door and asked the person who owned the home if they would review their footage. I thought, wow, that's pretty good. He has investigative skills. Okay.
Yeah, obviously.
And across the street from that individual was a state trooper who had his cruiser parked with the, the game, or the, what do they call that, dash cam, right?
Right.
And he contacted him and was told that, yeah, when he's parked there, it's not running, which obviously makes sense.
Yeah.
So nothing there. But I thought it was pretty good of him to think about that.
Yeah.
So
going the extra mile there. Good.
Although they usually suck as far as the CCTV footage, those closed captioned cameras. They're not usually real definitive. But anyhow, I thought I'd mention that. That's interesting, huh?
Oh yeah.
But this is the type of individual, avid outdoorsman, criminal investigation skills. That's bringing something to the table, right?
Yeah, and that sighting or those tracks were in Pennsylvania, so
yeah, nearby.
Yep.
Not far. Just reading if there's any other questions,
comments, and love notes.
Well, basically just the usual. And we want to thank everybody for keeping up with us and tuning back in. And we'll keep trying to present a interesting episode from time to time.
We're trying our best.
But hey, if nothing else, we'll keep you in the loop and film a few things as we go along. So I'm going to start doing some more shorts. And Nathan, I encourage you to try to pick up on that as well. Okay.
As soon as I figure out what I'm doing,
I'll send you instructions.
Right.
So again, we want to thank our friends at Yeti Bars, and thank you, Tyrel, for coming on and giving us an update. It's going to be caramel and coffee instead of bourbon.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I like caramel.
Yeah, me too.
And so that'll be ready in a couple of weeks, we're told. So YetiBars.net. I think they're still having a sale. And if you use the code STP10 at checkout, you'll save an additional 10%. And where do they get that free shipping at, Nate?
$75.
Right on. So don't forget to use STP10 at checkout.
That's right.
And thanks again for tuning in.
And hey, thanks for squatching. Thanks,
Keep
everybody.
Keep it squatchy. Where do I click on end the